In ancient Rome, when a victorious general rode through the streets in his parade, crowds cheering, gold everywhere, a servant was ordered to stand behind him, not to hold anything, not to fan him, just to lean in again and again and whisper the same words into his ear. Remember, you will die. At the highest moment of his life, in his ear, you will die. To us, that sounds cruel, a ruined celebration. But to the Romans, and especially to the Stoics, it was the opposite. It was a gift, maybe the most valuable one they had. They had a phrase for it, memento mori, remember death. This is the unbothered Stoic, one ancient idea made usable every week. Today, why the Stoics thought about death every single day, not to be morbid, but to wake up. And 3 ways to use it starting tonight, and I know how this sounds. You clicked on a calm self-improvement video, and now I'm talking about your funeral. Stay with me, because this single idea practiced correctly does not make you sad. It does the reverse. It wakes you up. Here's why the Stoics did it. Not to depress themselves, to sharpen themselves. Marcus Aurelius wrote in the middle of running an empire, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. Read that again. Not someday. Right now. He kept the possibility of his own death in the room with him on purpose because it made every decision clearer. When you truly remember that your time is finite, the trivial falls away, the grudge you're holding, the opinion of a stranger, the fear of looking foolish. Held up against death, most of what steals your peace simply shrinks. Here's the core idea I want you to carry out of this video. You are not afraid of death nearly as much as you're asleep to life. Most people never think about dying, and so they live like they have infinite time. Infinite tomorrows to fix it, start it, say it, mean it. And that infinity is a lie. It's the exact lie that lets you waste a Tuesday and then a decade. The Stoics broke the lie deliberately. Seneca, in his letters, put it like a slap. You live as if you would live forever. The fear of death never enters your head. You count each day as if you had a full supply of them. If that reframe hits you the way it hit me the first time, take a second and hit like, it helps other people find this idea before they need it. Then let's turn it into something you can actually use, because a feeling fades by lunchtime. A practice stays. 3 exercises, all Stoic, all doable today. The first is the one-line morning reminder. When you wake, before the phone, before the noise, say one sentence to yourself. I will not live forever, and today is not guaranteed. Don't say it to be gloomy. Say it the way you'd check the weather. Factual, calm. It costs you 5 seconds, and it quietly rearranges your whole day. Suddenly, the hour you were going to waste being annoyed looks expensive, because it is. The second exercise is what I'll call the last time lens. Pick one ordinary thing you'll do today. Making coffee, hugging someone, walking the same street, and silently notice, one day there will be a last time I do this. I won't know which time is the last. This sounds heavy. In practice, it's the opposite. It floods the ordinary with color. The Stoics didn't remember death to escape life. They remembered it to fall back in love with the plain, unremarkable moments they'd been sleepwalking through. Nothing makes a normal Tuesday precious faster than remembering Tuesdays run out. The third exercise is the deathbed question, used as a compass. When you're stuck on a decision and the fear of what people will think has you frozen, ask the version of you at the very end. Will this have mattered? Will the person at the finish line be glad you played it safe to avoid a little embarrassment? Or will they wish you'd just tried? Marcus used this constantly. He measured his choices against the vastness of time, and it made him brave because he saw how small and brief the embarrassment was and how brief he was too. Now let me be honest about something, because I don't want to hand you a fake medicine. Remembering death will not make you fearless overnight. The mind flinches from it. That's normal. Some days the thought will unsettle you rather than free you, and on those days you set it down gently and come back to it later. But here is the strange promise the Stoics kept discovering century after century. The people who look at death most honestly are usually the ones most awake to life. Not the ones who deny it, the ones who face it. Because once you truly accept that this ends, an odd calm arrives. The pressure to be permanent lifts. You stop trying to win a game that has no final score, and you start actually living inside the days you have. Epictetus, who was born a slave and knew exactly how little he controlled, said, "Keep death and exile daily before your eyes, and you will never harbor a mean thought, nor covet anything beyond reason." Never harbor a mean thought. Look how practical that is. He's saying, the memory of death makes you kinder, lighter, less petty, harder to shake. So tonight, before you sleep, Try it once. Remember that these days are counted, not to frighten yourself, to value what you're holding while you're still holding it. I want to hear from you on this one, and I do read the comments. If you truly took today as a gift instead of a given, what is the first thing you'd stop wasting time on? Tell me below. The next video takes this one step further, because once you accept that your time is short and much of life is out of your hands, there's a radical Stoic move left. Learning to love what happens to you, even the hard parts. They called it amor fati. It might be the most powerful idea they ever had. Subscribe and stay. We're building this calm, one idea at a time.